Alright, so hello world, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and implement Stripe to our e-commerce site. We're gonna use this custom flow. I will link this into the description down below. So just a quick start is they use Flask. So it's another, if you haven't heard of Flask, which if you learn Django, you should at least heard of a Flask before, but Flask is pretty much is Django in the perspective of developing a web application, but it's different because it's much more simpler in the idea of that it didn't come with much feature. It's more like a mini library, but it still gives a skeleton that you have freedom to do everything on your own. Okay, so we're gonna base on these flasks, and then we're gonna take a look how can we do it. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So let's see. So first, let's see. Okay. So we will use this documentation. Essentially, what should happen is if we type an email address, a cart number, which is here. So this is just like a sample one that we will be provided. We send an email receipt. So in here we'll just say 4242424242424242. Pay now. If you type that, and we're successful. And then if you take a look at the dashboard, all right, $10 USD. All right, sweet. So this is what we got. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. This is probably. Oops. This is probably interesting. It's probably the Algo Expert clone, which I'm using Stripe, but don't worry about it. So we're gonna go ahead and start building the e-commerce site. So go ahead and grab your own, like your test secret API key, stuff like that. I will obviously reset it. Unless I forgot about it, which yeah, I will try not to, since it's pretty important information. But first, we'll install the Stripe Python library. All right, and then let's see. So step one, let's go ahead and get this set up. So replace this with a constant with a calculation of orders amount. All right. I need to know where. Okay, data items. Okay, so in here we'll just say import. So now so it's still on the shopper's page. So what the payment gonna do is, for now what I want to try out is both PayPal and Stripe. Okay, it's both PayPal and Stripe. Let's see. So in here we'll say import Stripe, Stripe.api. Okay. But today we'll just take a look Stripe. All right. So import Stripe. Oops, I don't know why that cleared there. All right. And then here, I don't know, can I install it? But okay. And here we'll just say stripe.api key equals to this. All right. So in here we'll go ahead and create a function, calculate order amount, right? And in here we'll have items, which is gonna be a list, and it's gonna be any. Or actually, I want it to be string, to be honest. But this is just like a new doc type. So items is basically item ID, and then item ID. Actually, I want it to be a nested, so we'll just keep recalculating it. And here is quantity, shipping, right? And then here we'll say same thing, pretty much. It's gonna be a nested list. Actually, we don't need shipping since we're new that. We just need a quantity, right? Just need a quantity. We'll also need to do, might need to do at least. Yes, if we take a look, sales tax. That's maybe gonna be worried, but varies. But sales tax. Calculator Python, I will say. So I want to also get like a calculating tax or something. But I mean, okay, you know what? In here, we're just gonna ignore sales tax. It's way too complicated. All right, but anyway, so in here we'll just double check, see if the order are correct. So in here, just say price equals 0, right? And in here, we say for item in items, we'll say I equals to. How should I say for and here it's an item. And then in here, we're gonna say I bracket 0, right? I dot bracket 0, right? All right, and that's the item I want. So it's practically price is going to be equals to item.price times the quantity, which is I bracket 1, plus item.shipping. And it's going to be plus equals to. Right, and at the end, we're going to return price. Okay. Whew, let's see. Okay, so now we're going to create a payment intent. And then here we'll also set at CSRF exempt. And in here we'll say dev create payment intent. Okay, and in here just take a request. Okay, so what's gonna happen is let's load the data, right? Like this, let's load the data. And then I may constantly like switch between the documentations. I get that's maybe a little bit annoying to watch, but you know. Alright, so what did I put here? What's data here? What did I put? What did you? Why did you put CSRF here? Okay. See, it's calculate order. Oh, calculate. Calculate order amount. Okay, nice. I'm not gonna say this. But in here we'll set items equals to list item. Currency is USD, yep. Okay. Alright, and then here we'll say return to sonify. So that's maybe some Stripe stuff. JSON response. Alright. We're not gonna do that because our code never have an error, right? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and include this. So we're gonna go ahead and now let's go ahead and edit something like pay.html. Stripe.html, actually, let's name it like that. So in here, just say extend shopper / base.html block title pay with Stripe. Got that loaded. All right. And then let's see, we're gonna do a step by step. So we're gonna define this form. Since I'm too lazy, I'm just gonna copy and paste. I'm gonna assume it's gonna do all these good job. Okay. Global.css. Okay, cool. I also need to figure out, oh, I forgot the static files, hosting. Oh, damn it. Oh no, don't go admin, please. Okay, let's in here, let's create a photocall static, shopper, stripe.css. Alright. Google.com, let's see. Django static files. Alright, there you go. Go ahead and load yourself first. I'll come back to you once you get it. Alright, define payment form. Let's see, initialize stripe.js. Okay, I'm gonna use this. So in here, we're also gonna create something like Stripe. Who knows? Maybe PayPal. PayPal gonna be simpler, I believe. I don't know, to be honest. All right, fetch a payment intent. All right. One second, let me see. Okay, all right, let's see. Let's go across to copy paste this. Bar purchase. That's a great question about what should this have. It's gonna be interesting. Purchase. How purchase gonna have. Okay, so basically now what we need to figure out is first how to get the stuff that they want to purchase. Right? How can I get stuff that they want to be purchased? Let's see. To render Jinja in JavaScript file. Yeah, because what I want to do is maybe hosting a server somewhere. Maybe like the server can render. This definitely is not a good idea. Okay, you know what? The purchase gonna be, if not the hardest thing to actually get, right? Because unless I'm saving to the database directly, right? So when I click the button, like by now, maybe it's gonna be serving the database, right? Storing the database maybe, and then we deal with it. That's the only way I can think of, right? So in here, we might need a fetch already, but we have to write everything in a fetch now, which is pretty annoying. Okay, let's just keep going to see what's gonna happen. Okay. Sig fetch. Shop. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Alright. Or there might be a simpler way, is if I just directly render it, but I don't want to do that part. Okay, so also copy this part. Alright. Okay, let's see. Alright. So all that I'm worried about is how can we deal with this? Right, this fetch. Maybe we could just wrap them into a huge fetch here, so maybe like item purchase. It's gonna be saved to the database. No, I don't think that makes sense. I could use session for it. Right, I can use session for it. Right, so maybe like when the shopper click on the buy now button, what the user want to buy gonna store in the session and then can fetch it, right? Okay, I don't need this anymore. Alright. So that's pretty much the Stripe part. And that's pretty much the Stripe part. Now what I need to work on is just to, 1 second. Okay. Just to paste it right there. Okay. All right. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna load the. See if we know how to manage static file. Okay, here we're gonna say look static. Okay, and that's pretty much it. What else gonna script right? Okay, I won't really do anything. Okay, what I will do is I will just implement the route maybe. So let's say Stripe payment. All right, and then here just gonna say return reindeer requests. Excuse me, Stripe shopper slash stripe.html. Let's see. The information I want to pass along. Let's add a URL. So here say Stripe use.pay Stripe. Okay, let's refresh. Let's actually just go to Stripe here. Okay, so we can see pretty much everything broke. Clearly there's a lots of conflict with our best bud, aka Bootstrap. So what I will do then is we are not going to use Bootstrap, which probably is one of the lamest things in the world that we cannot even use Bootstrap. But in order to let it work, let's take a look. What console error do we got? All right. Let's see. I think we got the stripe.js. Okay. All right. Okay. 1 second. Where is stripe.js? Okay. So in here, we will not say .text for now. Say .text. Right? Let's refresh. Okay, I do believe we need to sort of like immediately to implement that. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to our cart. right? And in here, you're gonna say buy now. But what's gonna happen to buy now, it's not gonna have a form to submit. So let's go to cart. Let's go to cart. Where the heck it is? Oh, there it is. Buy now. Okay. Now, what's gonna say is in here, gonna say document get element by ID by the onClick. What's gonna happen is this. Alright, clearly I'm mixing up ES5 and ES6 arrow function and the functions function. Okay. But in here, what I'm gonna do is going to somehow make by work. Okay. So maybe in here, what will I say? I would just say location dot assign. We're actually gonna do a fetch. Let's do a fetch. And in here, what's gonna happen is store item session. Okay, sounds pretty fancy. Of course, message gonna be post data or body. Gonna be something like JSON.stringify. Okay, so what data do we got? Is we pretty much just have a list, right? Nested list. So var data equals nested list, and in here we're just gonna say. So we need to know how many items are there, right? What are the total items here? So in here I could just say, you know what? Why do we overcomplicate things? I don't want to overcomplicate it saying. Remove the escalator braces. I just want to display it as a like inline JavaScript. That's just what I want to do, because there's no practical difference otherwise. Okay, 1 second. So now I don't need this anymore. That's a good thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste all of those codes here. It might be bad. We'll see how I can fix it, if we'll ever fix it. But in here, the purchase. Now what's gonna happen is can be a nested list. Right? Now it's gonna be a nested list. So in here, what's gonna happen is when we render Stripe, we need to give item ID. It's pretty much basically the same format, right? So it's basically item ID quantity, right? So that's what's gonna happen when they click on that. So cart, what cart gonna do is it need to know what do they want to pay, right? What do they want to pay? Yes, I think do I do any sessions for it? Because how do they know what do they pay? Okay, well, if they purchased from the cart, I'm going to assume we can just get the cart item. Right? You can just get the cart item. Right? So what we need to do is update quantity live. Okay, so it's pretty long video and pretty confusing one. Sorry about that. But pretty much what we have to do is we set up the Stripe components, both client side and backend. Now what we need to figure out is what's a way that we can get what item do they want to buy, right? So there are two ways that you can buy an item. One is from the cart, one is from the purchase in the items page. So what I was thinking now is I'm probably going to do this in my own time. Is first I'm going to fix this so like when I change quantity, it's automatically update quantities from like that as well. From like cart items. So when they click on buy now, what's essentially going to happen is now I could just move this to the stripe.js now. But what do I need to worry about? So now what's going to happen is I can just create an API, fetch all the cart items that I have, right? I got item ID, the quantity, and then return render there. Okay, so that's what I would do in my own time. And then we're going to implement PayPal, hopefully together in the next video. And then I will see if I can figure out how like payout actually works. Okay. So sorry for making this a little bit more confusing, but this is like Stripe. We kind of like think through these different questions, different issues we face. Since it's pretty much live coding because I have absolutely no clue what's actually going to happen. I just read through some Stripe documentation, so sorry about that. Maybe I should be a little bit more prepared than that, but I just want to show you like the real side of programming is. But thank you for watching nonetheless. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe button if you haven't already. So yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. As always, stay safe and have a nice day. DevWithMe out.